You explain this scenario when your data testing team says that the evidences your development team shared does not match with actual result. When you run a query on a view, you see a valid result. When testing team runs a query on the same view, it returns a very different column result. Is it a logic problem on a view, or it is a data masking on the field which has something to do with your role? So let's see how the invoker role function can hide the data and why it is important to learn about it as a Snowflake ETL developer or an architect. Warm welcome to the Snowflake SQL video series and my channel Data Engineering Simplified. In this episode number 8, we will continue our discussion around context functions. We will focus on one of the most important and rarely used session object context function called invoker role. We will see it in action and how it can be used for a different purpose. We all know the context functions are very powerful in Snowflake but not used as frequently as expected. We have already covered 23 context function previous 7 videos. Refer the card above for the playlist link. So let's start. At the time of recording, Snowflake has following context function and it may grow further. 8 general context function, 10 session context function, 8 session object context function. The category classification were discussed in episode 1 of this series. The context function stricken out are already discussed in our previous episode. Refer the playlist link above. In this episode number 8, we will focus on invoker role which falls under object session context function. The context function has a very important role when we talk about column level security and the data masking. Where can I find the SQL script used in this episode? All the SQL script used in this episode can be found in my website. The link is given below in the description section. Where can I find Snowflake documentation about context function? Snowflake documentation can be found at docs.snowflake.com. The link is given below in the description section. Let's understand the invoker role context function definition as per Snowflake. The syntax is very simple, invoker underscore role, and it does not take any argument. The ANSI syntax is not supported. You have to call this invoker function with parenthesis. The definition: return the role name of the object executing the query. Let's elaborate it. Let's say we run a query called select star from employee, and the Snowflake check if your current role has a select privileges to the employee table or the employee object. If yes, it returns the result. Alternatively, you can also call a stored procedure that runs the same query. In this case, the stored procedure is the object which run the query and passes the role to the Snowflake for access privilege check. Important note, this function works only with enterprise and higher edition of Snowflake. It does not run with standard edition of Snowflake. Let's understand the relationship between a query and the invoker role context function. Here we have a matrix. At one side, the query where the masking policy is applied, and on the right side, the returned value by the invoker role function. If you have a view which is accessing an object in which the invoker role function is applied, the invoker role will return the view owner role. In case of a stored procedure, it will be a little different. According to the definition of a stored procedure, whether it is a caller rights or a owner rights, the invoker role will change. For the caller rights, it will be current role, and for the owner rights, it would be the owner of the stored procedure. We know in Snowflake, every object has an owner, and what role the owner has when the query is being executed would be returned by the invoker role. We will see it more in detail during the live demo. Let's get into the live demo. We will use Snowflake free trial edition to exercise the SQL scripts. Here I am using a legacy web UI and I am in my worksheet. Let's run this first SQL statement where I am using the invoker role function with the select statement. Since my current role is a system admin, and let me show you, my current role is a system admin, I got the invoker role equals to my current role. If I do not use the parenthesis, it ends with an error. It expects a parenthesis, otherwise it will end up in an error. Does this function need an active warehouse? No. My warehouse is currently suspended. It's not running. Let me show you what is my current warehouse. It is hr_ad hoc_warehouse. and when I run this statement, my warehouse is still in a suspended state. It means that this function does not need an active warehouse. What kind of function invoker role is? So here I got the result. It is a built-in function, is aggregated, it does not need any argument. And here the description says it returns the invoker role. It is not a table function, so it is a scalar function. When you access any object from this worksheet, it generally returns the same value. Let me run this SQL statement for you. And the result says the invoker role as well as current role both are system admin. However, when we run this function through a stored procedure or by any other mechanism, it is not necessary that you will get the same result for invoker role as well as current role. Can we assign invoker role result to a variable? Yes, we can do that. So here is my set statement, and I am going to run the next select statement with $, and I finally got the result. So it works pretty well. You don't need a select keyword when you are using to set the variable value. And here I am using two variables called invoker role value and current role value, and I am calling this invoker role function and the current role function, and these result will respectively will be set for this variable. Let me run this statement for you. Let's print the value of those variable. So here my result is system admin and system admin, perfectly fine. To illustrate how the invoker role function work, I have used an example domain called HR management system. In this team, we have a different role called project manager, architect, ETL developer, and the module lead. On the other side, we have a HR team, business analyst, and the testing team. The left side of the team members or the role are responsible to validate the functional part of the data, and on the right side, these are the people who are building the technical solutions. Each of them are having a different privileges to employee table because employee table holds sensitive information. The HR team does not want the development team should have the visibility to these sensitive data set, and that's why they have applied the masking policy. Let's understand how this invoker role as well as current role really plays an important role while applying the masking policy in those sensitive field in the table. An HR management system has a table called employee. The employee has some sensitive information about employee's salary, employee's age, and the type of employee. The HR person does not want that these fields should be accessible or visible to all the development team. And for that, they want to create a data masking policy. So let's start. So the role assigned to HR team is called HR_team. And before I create a table called employee, let me drop the table. So this table has an ID followed by name, age, the type of employee, its salary, bank account number, and I am keeping two additional fields called current role and the invoker role. I have given some default value to these columns. Let me run this DDL statement. So I created an employee object under the HRDB and under the sandbox schema. Let's insert these 8 rows, which includes 6 employees and 2 contractors. We are not worried about contractor salary. However, the contractor age and the type of employee is called contractor is visible. And I am trying to see the data set of employee. Here I can see I have a total 8 records, perfectly fine. The age is visible to me. I have 6 permanent employee and 2 contractor. Their salary is visible and their bank account is also visible to me. So I am creating a view, and this view is nothing but a select star from the employee table, a very simple view. So if you run select star from employee table or select star from this employee_VW_level01, both will return the same number of rows and same result. So I can see I got 8 rows and it looks exactly same. So far I have not applied any masking policy. Now I am going to switch to a new worksheet and I am going to apply a masking policy. The masking, how to create a masking policy is covered in a different video. The link is given above on the card or in the description below. I will show you how to create a masking policy for one of the field and I will run for rest of the field. To create a masking policy, I need to switch the role. And first I would unset if any masking policy is applied into the employee field. So I also drop the masking policy in case if it exists. Now I am going to create a masking policy, and what this masking policy does, if your current role is HR team or a testing team or a ETL developer or a module lead, accordingly it returns a necessary value from the field. Now my masking policy is created successfully. I'm going to set this masking policy on a column called salary from the table employee. Now I have applied the masking policy successfully. I'm going to create another masking policy which will mask the employee type. I am going to run all those statements together. I'm going to run another masking policy which will mask the employee age information on the table directly. I'm going to apply a masking policy for this illustration purpose which will return the invoker role. I will apply the same thing for a current role. We have added two pseudo column called invoker role and current role on the employee table. Now I have applied all the necessary masking policy on the table. Let me apply the masking policy on the view, which is also possible. So I'm going to apply only one masking policy called EMP type mask 01, and it will only mask the employee type. Let me go back to my previous worksheet where we have all the select statement. Before I run the select statement, let me demonstrate you how we have created those masking policy and how does it look like visually. So let's understand how these objects are arranged and what field from this object are masked. Here I have an employee table in which age, salary and employee type fields are masked. And this table is owned by HR team. On the other side, I have a view. This view is applied on this employee table, and in this view, only employee type is masked. The owner of this view as well as table is HR team. And this is how the relationship looks like. If a user access a view and this view get the data from the employee table, and if there is a masking policy applied, and if you invoke the invoker role function, the result of the invoker role depends on the matrix we have seen. If somebody accesses the employee table directly, in that case, the invoker role will be used directly equal to the current role. So the value of the invoker role will be HR team if you are accessing the employee table through the view, and the invoker role will get the HR team because HR team is the owner. So if the testing team is accessing this view, and the current role will get the testing team and the invoker role will have the HR team. On another example, if the business analyst is accessing this view, the current role will be the business analyst and the invoker role will still get the HR team. So this is how the invoker role and the current role works together. Let's come back to the worksheet. I am switching the role to the HR team and I am going to access the table employee table. Since for HR team all the data fields are visible as is, you can see here the result are the employee type is visible, permanent as well as contractor, and all the salary is visible, bank account is visible, and the current role for this worksheet, since HR team is accessing the employee table directly, the invoker role and the current role are same. For the view, it looks exactly same. There is no change because you are accessing the view with the owner role. When I switch my role to the testing team, my role is switched to the testing team, and first let me access this view. Here the data is masked. I am accessing the same view. Since my role is testing team, I will not be able to see the employee type, and I am also seeing a very different salary result which is masked result, and I can see that everything is end with 77. Here my current role is testing team and my invoker role is HR team, because the owner of this view is HR team and this view is accessing the employee table. That's why the invoker role will give you the HR team result. If I try to access the employee, in that case my current role and invoker role are same. Let me try with the business analyst role. This will also result the same values. Here my type is masked, my salary is a random value, it is not the real value, and my current role is business analyst and my invoker role is HR team. So invoker role will always take the owner of the object in case of a view or a UDF or a task. So we can conclude that when to use a current role and when to use an invoker role, and when you are doing the data masking, make sure that you use the right context function and apply this logic to ensure that your data masking has been applied appropriately. Otherwise, you have applied the masking policy. However, your masking policy would not work if you have not used the invoker role appropriately. The invoker role concept is slightly confusing. So make sure that you apply with an example and practice this SQL script available in my website. And if you have not understood any part of this concept, please put your comment below. Trivia time. Let's understand how much impact my content has on your knowledge. Let's validate our learning. Let's review the answer. Thank you for watching. For those of you who are visiting my channel first time, I request you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and press the bell icon to get the notification. If this content is meaningful and helping you in your day-to-day work, press the like button and also share your feedback. Before you go, if you are benefiting from any of my content, please share your success story. Find the form link in the description below.